Tinubu's minister, Beta Edu, call her Dr. Beta Edu, is a product of a Harvard University, flows in corruption. Flows in corruption. Well, Tinubu has been able to do what Nigerians have told him to do by sacking her. Of course, they didn't want to do that. You know that the first person that was sacked when allegations of corruption came, were charged against this Alima of a woman, and nobody even asked Tinubu or the so-called the federal government to just suspend her. Okay, we might say suspension. From suspension, that is how they will go. They will tell you OT law. Some people are making, they are justifying or making excuses that say, oh yeah, Tinubu has done the right thing. One thing we should be asking ourselves is that why is it that this government, I'm sure these guys, they know the kind of person they are dealing with. So, and all eyes on this government because of the kind of person that even the president is. We know the stuff is made up. So all this trying to suspend this, suspend that, all na boo boo. Because I don't understand. This government is just like 7 months. The ministers are just like maybe 5 months or 6 months in office, and they are now into deep corruption. You begin to ask yourself, into deep corruption like this, not even 1 year or after 1 year, less than 7 months, we have been hearing a lot of misappropriation of money, and that's why they are not even bothered. You can imagine that in this kind of a hardship that we are going through, that these people have the audacity, because they got this appointment. They got this appointment because of settlements. I get to settle you. This one has done this, not because they merited it, just for them to be settled, and that is the reason why they have the audacity to do this. The reason why everybody is really eyes on them is the manner at which even the governor, the president himself came. We know when he ruled Lagos, we know what went wrong, but they were trying to cover the whole thing. So that's why these people have the audacity that they have not even settled down. Because some people will tell you now that Tinubu has not yet settled down. He has not yet settled down, but his ministers, they have settled down and started moving billions from one account to the other. So come to think of it, this Dr. Beta Edu, she's just 36, 37, and Harvard products, now deep in corruption. Now they have suspended her, and I learned that she wanted to see the president, but she was denied access to see him. Like they always say, wonders they see shall never end. My own is that what audacity did these people have to just be involved in this kind of a thing? Yeah, and from what we are getting now is that this Beta Edu, after being sacked, they have the EFCC, they say they order EFCC to go and investigate her. Must they be ordered to go and do that? Now they've whisked her away in security truck barely an hour after she was suspended as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. Beta Edu, yesterday, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, was yesterday barred from seeing President Bola Tinubu at the villa. The suspended minister, who arrived at Aso Rock shortly after her suspension for alleged theft of money was disclosed, was prohibited from seeing the president. She had scaled through all security checks up to the president's office before she was blocked from seeing him in office. Edu, who was seen walking out of the president's office with some of the president's aides and security personnel and protocol officials escorting her out, appeared sober. Sources disclosed that apart from being unable to have an audience with the president, her access tag to the villa was immediately withdrawn from her by the president's security. Edu, who had arrived at the villa in an official car, was whisked out in a Toyota Hilux truck belonging to State House security. It was not immediately clear whether she was later allowed to use her official vehicle out of the presidential villa. Meanwhile, she has been invited by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC for questioning. A source, of, a source at the EFCC confirmed last night that she has been summoned and will be at the commission's office today. The invitation was sent to her less than 30 minutes after news of her suspension was made public. According to the source, the EFCC had earlier recommended her suspension to pave the way for thorough investigation. The source said that the minister's suspension would give the commission the liberty to do its job thoroughly as directed by the president. As directed by the president. And this guy is not independent. Though spokesman of the anti-graft agency Dele Oyewale did not respond to a series of calls, sources in the EFCC said Edu is expected to face a team of interrogators today. An official invitation by the commission has already been sent to her. We expect her to honor the invitation and come to the commission on Tuesday to give proper insight to the issue at hand. President Bola Tinubu had relieved her of her duties with immediate effect over the transfer of 585.2 million naira from public account into a private account of an official in her ministry, Oniyelu Bridget Mujisola. And this particular person has not been even fished out. Edu had admitted approving the December 20th, 2023 memo, which showed that she requested the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Madin, to transfer public funds 585.2 million naira into a private account of an official in her ministry. The transfer transvenes various sections of Nigeria's Financial Regulations 2009, which are meant to prevent fraud and other forms of corruption. She had admitted further that the fund transfer from the National Security or Social Investments Office account was meant for disbursement to vulnerable people in Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Lagos and Ogun states under the federal government poverty intervention project called Grants for Vulnerable Groups. Vulnerable groups, you see, of course, he puts a Lagos own because now there Tinubu come from, and the one way nearer Ogun State, make you know be like saying only Lagos. Just use Ogun State to shock and put for this thing. She comes from Cross River. You can't use Akwa Ibom to shock and make you know be like say see these people. So now it is their turn, because when you hear about this intervention poverty alleviation, when Buhari was there, they usually do it in the north. That does not justify. This whole thing is supposed to go round, simultaneously, not selecting some states and be giving money 500 and this thing. So it is only in those 4 states that you have a vulnerable and people living in multi-dimensional poverty. Okay, she explained that Oniyelu, whose private account with the United Bank of Africa, the 585.2 million naira was paid into, is the project accountant. On Monday, how she approved funds in November 2023 for flight tickets and airport taxes for members of her team to travel from Abuja to Kogi, a state which has no functional airport, surfaced. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, the suspension is in line with President Tinubu's avowed commitment to uphold the highest standards of integrity. Tinubu defied corruption. Integrity, transparency, accountability in the management of the Commonwealth of Nigerians. The president further directed the Anti-Graft Commission to conduct a thorough investigation into all aspects of the financial transactions involving the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, as well as one or more agencies thereunder. He ordered Edu to hand over to the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation and to fully cooperate with the investigating authorities as they conduct their investigation. President Tinubu also tasked a panel that is headed by the coordinating Minister of the Economic and Minister of Finance, among other functions, conducts a comprehensive diagnostic of the financial architecture and framework of the social investments programs with a view to conclusively reforming the relevant institutions and programs in a determined bid to eliminate all institutional frailties for the exclusive benefits of disadvantaged households and win back lost public confidence in the initiative. We hear you. mm. Now, wow. They are making noise because of 500 million naira when some people are there working scot-free with looted billions. Abubakar Malami is working freely, no investigation, nothing, nothing. You can imagine. They will just Tinubu just want to use this all these people to shine. This is simply a case of corruption fighting back, and some fools at the presidency could not read the handwriting on the wall. Better Edu has done nothing wrong. Okay, oh, the noise being made about her is annoying and disturbing. Enough of the nonsense from a very corrupt leadership in the country today. The civil servant must have misled her into this alleged wrongdoing. We don't even know where the real corruption domicile in our system. It is the civil service. They are the ones who bring up all manner of memos and advise the chief executive on what to do, but they are never seen. They are never seen. That is why experience is good. Experience is good. This lady, they just dash her that position. She ought to have known better. If really she's not corrupt, she ought to have known better, but she's not aware. If there's anything to go by with this argument of this particular person, oh, maybe they must have lured her or whatever. Ignorance is not an excuse before law. That is what they say. Ignorance at all. So guys, let's say your opinion and have your take on this.